Okay, here with Andrew Warner, CMO of Digital Hotelier, a London-based hotel solutions provider. Hello, Andrew.
Hey, how's it going?
Very well. Well, not well, but we're hanging in there. Stuck in our homes, as you are as well, I guess.
Yeah, that's the way it is, self-isolating.
Yes. Also joined with Ian Kemp, Director of Client Success at SHR. Hello.
Hey, Jason. Hi, Andrew. Glad to be with you.
Good. So, just wanted to talk about a few things that might help hoteliers now, and maybe some of the things that you guys are advising your clients. Let's just jump right in. I would guess that there's a lot of focus on domestic right now, correct?
Yeah, sure. I think, obviously, first and foremost, I think the main focus is on keeping people safe and following whatever legislation is in place and whatever rules are in place and whatever geography people in. And we deal with clients in lots of different countries, and it's a very dynamic situation in terms of what's happening in different locations. But in general terms, I think what we're generally advising people to do is to reallocate a greater proportion of their digital marketing budget, certainly, and their focus onto domestic markets. And I guess at the moment, that probably sounds incredibly logical, but it's something which we're certainly observing that when we look at all of the Google data, every time another airline announces flight cancellations, every time there's another news bulletin about a country somewhere in the world which is closing its borders effectively, we can see that shift in the Google search results. And there are still people, though, it's important to note, who are traveling. There are some countries which are not in lockdown. But in every single case that we see, we're seeing a massive shift towards people looking at domestic vacations, people looking at domestic hotel stays, and a big drop in international. And I think one other point which is really important to make is that although right now things seem particularly challenging for everyone, it is still the case that people are thinking ahead. And the UK government yesterday said they thought maybe 12 weeks till we pull out of this crisis. I don't think anyone knows for sure. But what we do observe is that with people staying at home in many countries for a prolonged period of time, they're kind of looking forward to when they can get out of their homes as well. So we are seeing people looking at staycations, researching family vacations around the country, looking in particular at things like what attractions there are for kids if they've got families, or romantic locations if they've got an anniversary coming up, or if they are postponing effectively their anniversary celebration. So it's really important. Something which we're advising our clients to do is keep looking at all of the data that you've got, because the situation is changing every day. Keep looking at all of the data that you've got in terms of what people are looking for when they're searching, and adapt accordingly. And don't think that it's a good idea to shut everything down right now, because what we're certainly advising people to do is to maintain their digital marketing, to ensure that both the demand which is in the market at the moment, they're getting their share of it, and also the future demand, they're thinking ahead. So when the recovery does pick up, they're not starting completely from a clean sheet of paper. They've hopefully got some bookings in for those future booking windows where there are still events happening, there are people still looking to go on vacation, and really thinking ahead in terms of how they plan their keyword activity.
That's really encouraging that people are out there looking for what's going to be happening this summer. Ian, are you? I know you're talking. You and your people are talking with our clients, every day. What are you hearing? Are you hearing that?
Yeah, so those were a lot of great points made by Andrew. And to echo that sentiment, money is already being spent in certain areas. And while you may need to adjust to that, like he said, don't take that off the table completely. But also, this is a great time to audit where your money is being spent. Very recently, our company actually worked together with Digital Hotelier to find a client who was spending on 1,800 keywords, when really a little under 200 of those were applicable to them and their location and their guest base and so forth. So make sure that what you're spending on is being allocated properly, and that you're not wasting anything in these times when we really do need to be a little tighter than in typical business times. Also, yes, we are going to come out of this at some point as well. So planning for that and being ready for that, maybe building a base of future reservations by selling seasonal packages right now that you otherwise wouldn't. Get creative in the offers that you can put out there to guests now that will begin to bring in travelers for those future dates. Those are some very positive things that can be done to balance that, though, a little bit. We are experiencing clients physically closing their doors to guests. It's a very difficult choice to have to make, but we are over 10 clients right now with dozens of hotels making that decision. I know no one takes that lightly. So again, safety first, but then being smart about where we are now, and then that future business that we have to keep capturing to keep the business going in the positive direction as we come out of this is definitely important.